Hi, Lawson. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming on the
Hi.
podcast here in Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Appreciate it.
With a name like that, I bet you probably don't run into many people with your name.
No, I've met one other Lawson, and it was a little boy, and he was quite sweet.
Oh, that's great. You just went to an audition. What did you audition for?
I just had an audition for a vertical. Have you been seeing the verticals around?
No.
They're these kind of new form of media. It's like mini series that are shot vertically on your phone. And like each episode is between like a minute and 3 minutes.
Oh,
And it's like but the whole entire series is about the length of like a feature film, so about an hour, hour and a half. They're kind of my bread and butter right now. I've done 31 of them. Yeah.
what?
Is that crazy?
That's so
So
cool.
yeah,
Like the
that's what I
way
was
that the
auditioning.
the industry is going, like you never know what
You
year
never
to
know.
year, kind of
Yeah.
like where it's gonna be. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Wild ride, but consistent, so I can't complain.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you're one of the leads in the upcoming FHS Halloween movie. We're going to talk
Yep.
about that, the feature film, just in a sec. But I want to first, though, I want to go back to like little kid, and I want to find out what you were watching and kind of like being influenced by when you were just a little girl.
Oh, what a great question. I grew up in a pretty strict household, especially when it came to media. So my mom had pretty tight reins. I was homeschooled my whole life. My mom was very much like go outside, have lots of experiences. So we were allowed to watch TV 1 hour a day, every day. But I remember I was heavily influenced on like things like Dragon Tales. I remember heavily loving those kind of movies. I was a big person into like the princess type things when I was young. And then I think as I got older, I found just like a really big love for I really love dramatic films. Yeah, I think I remember like Footloose and Titanic and those kind of movies had a really big impact on me growing up. So yeah, I think I had kind of a mix, but I think my mom did a really good job of like when she did introduce us to films and media, they were definitely like heavy hitters, you know?
That's so interesting that you were limited sort of like in the amount that you could watch,
Yeah.
homeschooled as well, which is
Yep.
I do want to talk about that as well. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
do you find that interesting that like did it maybe push you in that way, knowing that like I couldn't get as much as like say my buddy down the street, they watched as many as they wanted to, and you were kind
Mhm.
of limited and you almost had to pick and choose what you were watching based on that.
Yeah, I think it made me really intentional with what
Yeah,
I was watching. Because, like, as a kid, it's like, okay, I have this 1 hour. Sometimes, if we were lucky, two.
right.
So it was like, not even, sometimes it was only 30 minutes. It really depended whether it was a weekend, a weekday, how much of our schoolwork we got done. So I think it just made me really like look at all the movies and like take in, like, what do I really want to watch? So I think it made me honestly just watch really good movies because I was like, well, I don't have enough time, so I'm gonna watch the good ones that, my mom and dad, I hear them talking about, kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so like were your teachers assholes in the homeschool?
The worst, absolutely terrible. Same
I
thing with my
kid,
classmates.
I kid, of course. What was it like though? Like, so did you just know a bunch of like other kids that were homeschooled, and that's kind of how like you went like were you in soccer teams? Like, how did you get the extracurricular stuff that you would get, you know, day to day at going to an elementary school as opposed to homeschool?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a gymnast, so I did gymnastics very competitively
Oh, okay.
from a pretty young age. So I think like that was our social time. It was also part of the reason we didn't have a lot of time to watch TV because we would do school and then I have a twin brother and he was also a gymnast and we go and train 4 or 5 hours and then we come home and do it all over again. So I think like that's definitely where the social aspect came in. So I never felt like I always had such an abundance of friends, like a lot of experiences. But then in my day to day, I spent most of my life around adults. Like I was either with my mom. She was homeschooling us, my brother, or my dad's an orthodontist and he has a practice. So a lot of the time my mom would help him manage the business. So she would go and we would just be in this office all day with like adults. So I think it made me probably grow up a lot faster just because I didn't I never got into the peer pressure thing, which was kind of great. Like I remember kids would try to peer pressure me and I'm like, that's stupid. Why? Because like logically I thought through everything. Where I was like, I'm not around this environment all the time. So I loved it. I would not have changed it for anything.
Oh, that's great. And so you never felt like you missed out on anything. And so your brother was obviously in
No.
school too,
Yeah,
right?
and I did it all the way through high school. And I was lucky that like most of my friends were in school. So I still went to prom, I still went to homecoming, I still went to football games. Like I had all the high school experiences without like I think the headache of high school. Like I was
Sure.
able to finish out my classes so much faster and I had a lot more luxury of free time and pursuing things I was interested in.
That's awesome. So is your brother a creative spirit as well, or what's he do?
So funny. So I tried for the longest time to get my brother into acting because he's really funny. He's a very, very, very comedic. But he's total opposite. He's a computer scientist. He's like very like regimented. He likes his 9 to 5.
Okay.
But I not without me trying very hard.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, like, were you a drama kid in school? But clearly you didn't go to school, but
No.
you love the drama side. Like when I guess like how old were you when you got your first paying role?
So I started pretty late then, if you're comparing it to like in that way. It was something I was interested in as a child for sure, but with being homeschooled and with the fact that I grew up in a smaller city, I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona, there's not a lot of like film and television or even really theater opportunities.
Oh,
So I did like one play and I remember being like, this is kind of stupid. Like I'm standing there for one line. I don't really like this. I liked performing. And so when I was 17, I think is the first time I booked a short film after like kind of getting my toes wet in acting class. And yeah, I think I still have the $100 bill from it because it was like
nice.
so exciting. And yeah, so that was my first paying role was at 17.
Okay. And so like do certain roles, I mean, it's probably a stupid question because I'm sure the
Mhm.
answer is yes, but like do certain roles come easier than others?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's been roles like there's some roles I look at, or even in the audition process where you're like, I understand this person. Like you don't really have to try. They're just there in you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's not even necessarily characters that are closer to who you are. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I get this person. I know who they are. But then there's other times where I'm like walking onto the set to film it, and I'm still like, I don't know if I understand this character.
Mm,
Like, I think we're gonna wing it. We're gonna like, she's gonna have to figure it out as we go. I've actually done that more times than probably knowing the character, where I'm just like, ooh, I'm gonna try. Hopefully, hopefully this works out.
yeah, fair enough. But that's what a director will like if you're not on base,
Yeah,
they'll be like, no, you're so not this is not right.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's why having a good director is so wonderful as an actor because it gives you the permission to be like, was it good? Help me,
What?
please.
What am I doing here?
Yeah,
So,
totally.
yes. So talk about your latest role and getting into VHS Halloween. There's been a huge buzz around this project.
Yeah, it's been overwhelming in like the best way. VHS itself has such a wonderful fan base that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Like I knew it was somewhat of had a cultish following, but then seeing the movie actually come out and the buzz and fan interaction around it has been pretty
Awesome.
remarkable. And it's not
Yeah.
even out yet, which is the crazy part. That's only been through festivals right now. But yeah, I played Lauren in the segment Fun Size, and it was just a dream. It was so much fun to do. My character is kind of like this sweet, earnest girl in her early 20s trying to kind of figure out what she's doing with her future. She find out she's engaged and she's with her friends, and then they kind of then get thrown into this deranged candy factory of chaos, and everything kind of ensues from there.
Mm. So is horror your favorite genre of movie or?
I think it's my favorite genre to film. I tend to be quite squeamish,
Mm.
and maybe it's what makes me a good actor. I very much believe what I'm watching and the circumstances I'm in. So I've always say I've listened to a lot of horror movies. I don't know how many I've actually watched
You got to pull
that
the
work
blanket
through
down
my
every once in a
fingers.
while, otherwise you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take little peeks and then I see blood and I'm like, just kidding.
Well, that's great. So you can film it. So do you get freaked out when you watch back your stuff?
When it's not my scene, yeah. Like when it was scenes like maybe I wasn't fully a part of or I don't know what's coming. Because maybe that's part of what makes horror so scary is you don't know what's coming next.
Sure.
So I think yes and no. If it was something I was a part of, then no, not necessarily.
It must be weird, right? Like as you're watching it, even though it's supposed to be scary, or like, no, I remember this scene. I remember
Yeah.
like Dave went and got a sandwich off of
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
like they were fine after we cut, I promise you. They weren't actually killed.
awesome. And so, what are you binge watching lately when you find the time?
Oh, that's a great question. I I love so much TV. It is funny though. The TV I have in my house is an old VHS TV. Like it's all the oldies.
Okay.
So I because of the Halloween season, I just watched Fright Night, which was great. That's such a classic and such a good movie. I just watched Halloween 2. That was another one we had on. But if we're talking like modern media, I'm quite like I love turning on a procedural that I know what's gonna I kind of know the formula. I know what's happening. I love the new show, High Potential
Mm.
on Hulu. That's been one I've really been enjoying.
I've never heard of it. What's that about?
It's really cute. It's oh I can't remember the actress's name on the top of my head. She's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh,
But basically
a
she
blonde
plays
girl?
this she's great. Yeah.
She's so funny.
She so funny and she's so good in it. She basically plays this woman who has a ridiculously high IQ but can't really hold down a job because she's just so smart. But then she stumbles upon finding herself working with the police department to solve cases because she's just so intelligent that she's able to put all these pieces together where they think she's just kind of kooky. But it's a really adorable series. I really have been enjoying it.
That's so great. Yeah, she's such a great actor or actress.
Yeah, she's such
Is
a
it actress
spitfire.
or actor? Like it does it is it based on sex? Like I'm so lost at that point now.
I don't either. I think women can be referred to as actors and actresses, where men are only referred to by actors
Yeah,
as actors. But I'm fine with either.
yeah. And so we all do it. When you jump on YouTube,
Yeah.
what is it that you kind of go down the big rabbit hole? Like, what is it that pulls you in? You're like, fuck, I'm sliding. I can't get out of here.
Oh, probably farm animals. I love like the fluffy cows, the silky chickens, the weird animals. I
Awesome.
definitely find myself down those weird rabbit holes.
Yeah.
My poor boyfriend partner gets, I think, a picture of a different kind of farm animal every other day, being like, I think I need this. We live in LA. He's like, where? Where are we putting
Okay.
this?
What does he do?
Uh, he's an actor as well.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, 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 which is so much fun. It's wonderful.
And how long have you guys been together? Where did you meet? Was it on
We're
set? Was it a love at first sight thing? Like,
we actually met on a movie we did together called Do You Trust Your Boyfriend, which is very funny, great title. It
yes.
was for Lifetime, and we stayed friends for a really long time, and then we started dating, I think, oh gosh, 3 or 4 years after we filmed it, and then we've been together now for almost 2 years.
Oh, cool. So it's
Yeah,
all, I was gonna say it's like a COVID thing, but no, it was after COVID.
it was during COVID.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was filming. It was filmed like right during COVID, which was such an interesting experience because it was my first feature film. I'd done a bunch of shorts, but it was like I think it was right at the end of 2020 when we filmed it, and so all the mask mandates and stuff. But I just remember there was one time where we had a scene where we were kissing, and then after they cut, they were like 6 feet apart, face shields
Masks.
on, and we were like,
Get the masks.
we're like, wait a second, were we just like swapping spit? Like, are we? I think if one of us has COVID, we're done.
I think we're done anyway. Yeah, like what a weird time. Like it's just
Yeah,
a
it was
weird
such
time in
a
general, especially that aspect of it.
Yeah, it was definitely a bizarre time in Hollywood and the industry. And it was like we were all just trying to be obviously respectful of the rules, but it was quite funny. There was a couple of times where we were like, wait.
The math is not mathing here, so
Exactly, exactly. We're like, these things aren't adding up. We're
yeah,
confused.
that's great. All right, Lawson, let's get outside of acting and what you're known for.
Yeah.
First concert. Hit us with your first concert.
It was Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, the like when she played both characters. And
Yeah.
I was 4 and I had the best time.
You actually remember it at 4 years old.
Oh, I remember it so vividly. I remember what I was wearing. I was wearing like this pink fuzzy hat with like it had like a butterfly on the side of it. And I was wearing like a white shirt with a like double layered. That's when like layering your shirts was really cool. So I
Yeah.
had like a white long sleeve with a brown top on top and it had a hood. It had a hoodie on it on the shirt. Oh, I felt really cool.
Oh, that's great. And what do you specifically remember about the actual show and the performance?
Oh, I remember loving her outfits. I was such a little fashionista when I was young, especially. Oh, my poor father, I'll never forget him like helping me grab my clothes from my wardrobe. And he's like, my dad has always called me Mimi my whole life. And he goes, Mimi, what do you want to wear? And I pick the shirt and he goes, why this one? And I'm like, Dad, it shows off my back. I'm like, like 4 years old. And he was like, all right, okay, kiddo. So I remember that the outfits for the concert were really cool, and she had so many outfit changes. So I was like, "This is crazy. How's this happening?"
So rad, eh? And you live in Los Angeles. How long have you lived there for?
So I've been here on and off for almost 8 years now, which is
Okay.
quite wild. Yeah, I like moved here fresh 18. Then I took a little break. I lived in Austin, Texas for a minute just to try something new, and then I booked some things and found myself back here.
So it's home now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. And so do you guys go check out any hockey games or basketball or
I wish I did. You know, my boyfriend and I are not big sports people. We love concerts though. So I think I think I've been to like 30 concerts this year. We
no?
love live music. Yeah.
No.
Isn't that crazy?
You are now rubbing it in.
I know.
That shit's crazy. What's your favorite show this year, do you think?
I think for this year, we saw Daniel Donato, and he calls his style of music cosmic country. So it's like almost if you mix like a jam band like Grateful Dead with like this twangy country type thing.
Oh,
He's a brilliant performer. We saw him at the Troubadour, which is a great venue here in LA. It's much smaller,
yeah,
so
I've
it
been
was
there.
quite fun.
Yeah.
And he's just a great performer. He was great, and then we also saw Fish at the Bowl, and I quite enjoyed that as well at the
So
Hollywood.
California, marijuana's legal, is what you're saying?
Can you tell by the people I've seen?
Yeah, straight up, like twang with the yeah and the
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, exactly. It's like drugs music. And that's what he created from those drugs, I'm sure.
Lawson, do you believe that aliens have visited Earth?
I feel like they had to have, right? I mean, my mom grew up in a very small farm town in Texas, and she talks about seeing UFOs all the time. So
Really?
I think they've had to have touched down at least once.
Yeah, like why would you lie about that?
I know. It doesn't make sense. So I believe it.
I think so too. Like I'm I'd mentioned like the rabbit hole and going down
Hmm.
and stuff.
Hmm.
Like if I get pulled into an aliens kind of an unknown thing, I will go
Yeah.
hard for like hours and just
Amazing.
deep dive. Like I'm at that point where I almost believe that aliens live among us.
I know. I'm almost there, I think. I like it would make sense. It would make a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have, this is not necessarily a question, but more of a story. Do you have a
Mm.
story where you almost died?
Where I almost died. Oh, let me think. I think I might actually have a couple. So there was one time, which is like a
You
crazy
know,
statement.
I laugh because most people do. It's the
I know, which
it's
is
great,
like, what a great question. I'm gonna start stealing that at parties, start asking people, have you almost died? Tell me this
right?
story.
Everybody has
The
one.
first one would have been when I was quite young. I was 2, and my sister tells this story still. I have a much older sister, and so she was babysitting me. and our the railing on our stairs kind of curved around, and so I was at the top banister and I shook it and it broke. So I fell through straight onto my head. So I don't remember that obviously, but my sister still says she has nightmares from it. And so like I had a huge concussion and like I wasn't doing well. I actually have hearing loss from it. So like that's a pretty crazy story. And then another
Not today
time I
hearing loss. Like you
Hmm?
don't still have hearing loss from that today.
Yeah, no, I have permanent hearing loss. Yeah, in my left ear. I actually usually even wear hearing aids because of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, is that not wild? Like it permanently
Yeah.
caused that part of my brain to
Well,
atrophy.
yeah, you're like, I don't remember it, but your sister is like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
traumatized.com. Like,
My sister's like, no, I'm traumatized for the rest of my life. Thank
oh
you so
my
much. She
God.
says now, because she has kids of her own, she like checks banister. She's like shaking them to make sure none
Yeah,
of them break.
yeah. And you're getting into another story, it felt like there.
Yeah, yeah, I have one more. I think probably would only other time I would have been close to dying is my I grew up like going to summers on a lake. It's Lake Powell. It's in Arizona. It's like between Arizona and Utah.
Yeah.
And there was one time where I was on an inner tube and my family is like a very like hardcore sports, we're gonna do it to the max kind of family. Yeah, like let's go.
Nice.
And I believe my older brother was driving the boat, and he was notorious for whipping us around, like to where one time my sister got knocked out. She went flying off the inner tube and like skipped across the water. Well, there it was one of those where we're like holding on for dear life, like thinking we're already gonna die. But the way the ropes were is it had like a triangle at the front connecting the ropes. And there was one time where he yanked us back and then like kind of stopped and we hit a wave and I like launched me forward. Well, I got stuck face first in the water in this triangle. Like in my I had a life vest on, but obviously not doing anything because I'm stuck head first in the water.
Yeah.
And the like cords on the life vest were getting caught within the rope. So my brother, who was on the inner tube with me, my twin brothers, like trying to pull me out. And I was there for quite a while, and then finally he was able to loosen me up and yank me out, and then I went flying off. And I think I passed out. I don't remember much of it, but that was also a pretty crazy experience.
What in the hell?
I know. That was just like what a way to go if I did. How did she
Right?
die? Well, she got caught in an inner
You're like,
tube
this
cord.
can't be the way. Come
I
on.
know. How
Can't be
lame.
it.
Yeah, like a
My God.
duck in the water with her head first.
Are you a fan of the superhero movies and everything that get made?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's been your favorite? Are you Marvel, DC?
I like Marvel. I think I'm more into the Marvel. I know them better. I've watched more, and I'm such a fan of Iron Man. I think that has to be my favorite. That or Black Widow.
Yeah, I think that once the what was his name, John Favreau,
Mm-hmm.
was the guy that made the Iron Man movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think once he made that movie, it was kind of like, here's the bar. Please don't make a movie unless you can get to this point. Like Iron Man
Right.
was truly the first best superhero movie.
Yeah, and it was so well done and just so entertaining. And I think it started obviously a whole genre of movie making, which is really cool.
Yeah. If you could have a superpower, which one would you want to have?
Mm. I think I would love to be able to read people's minds. I don't know how useful it would be. But
I
as
think it
just
would be
someone who likes the
interesting,
gossip,
but as long as you could just want to do it and it wasn't just flooding
constant.
in on you, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't think I'd want that, but I think like if I could intentionally like just kind of tune in to
Yeah,
people or like telekinesis where I can speak to people with my mind, I think that would be quite interesting.
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, rapid fire questions. Getting to
Okay.
know Lawson Greyson. Here we go. This or that.
Okay.
Sushi or pizza?
Sushi.
Rock or rap?
Rock.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Dogs or cats?
Oh no. Right now I have a cat, so I'm gonna say cats.
Name three things. Three movies that have changed your life.
Oh, La La Land. Call Me by Your Name and Footloose.
Three celebrities you'd want at your dinner party.
Dean Martin,
Nice.
Grace Kelly, and Meryl Streep.
Going back in time.
Yeah.
Three smells that you love.
Vanilla, fresh baked cookies, and right after it rains.
Nice. Would you rather star in a movie with Tom Holland or Emma Stone?
Emma Stone, 100%.
What's her best
She's one of
stuff?
my favorites.
Yeah, I knew you'd like her. What's her best,
Mm.
do you think?
I think I'm biased because La La Land is just one of my absolute favorites, but I also loved her in The Favorite, and then I loved the new movie she just did. I'm blanking on the name. It's the one that she did with Mark Ruffalo. It's not new, but it's newer. It's
Oh,
the same director as The Favorite.
yeah.
Promise? No. Anyway, that one also is very good.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of near death, would you rather know how you die or when you die?
Probably when I die, because I think if I knew how, then I would just be terrified if I got into any
Of
circumstance.
doing it. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
die in a car. Well, fuck it. I'm never getting in a car again.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Not happening.
Yeah. I have a feeling that you're going to be like hitting your PR person, JT, like this interview went sideways about 20 minutes in. Would do you drink coffee?
I'm a huge coffee drinker.
Okay, so would you rather quit coffee or Netflix?
Netflix. I would be a nightmare if I quit coffee. I'm pretty sure I would lose all my friends.
Awesome. Okay, first and last with Lawson Greyson. What's the first album that you bought with your own money?
Oh, it was a Britney Spears one, but it was a really, really early one. I think it was called 13, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken. Or it was like it was one of her very first ones.
Well, she's gotten a little
And I
bit
had a little CD player.
tad crazy in the last couple of years. I don't know if you've seen any of her TikTok and
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
stuff, but like she is. Woo!
Yeah,
Okay.
she's gone a little woo, but I mean, she was famous from so young. I couldn't even imagine.
Could you imagine being like, what was she, 13, 15 years old? Like, it's just a punk
Yeah,
little
I think that
kid.
album
Like,
was called 13 because she was like 13 when she
yeah,
made it, which is insane.
yeah. Yeah. What's the last song that you've played on repeat obsessively?
Oh, I have a good one. It's I Believe It in My Soul by Ray Charles has been on repeat recently.
Cool. What's the first movie you remember watching where you were like, I probably shouldn't be watching this?
Oh, I have a great answer. It would have been Flashdance
Mm,
because there's a topless scene in it, and I remember I was watching it originally with my mom, but I was quite young, and she had fallen asleep before that part, and I was like, "Oh," and I'm like looking at my mom, being like, "Should I turn this off?
should I wake her up?
What do I do?" And then it was over, and then I was like, "I think I'm okay." And I like kept watching because it's obviously such a brilliant movie. It's so good that I was like, I'm really enjoying this, so I'm just going to play ignorant.
Totally right. Yeah, the reason I asked that is I posted something on my Facebook page, and it was something to the effect of like it was just two kids watching a TV show, and it was like me watching Jason Voorhees kill somebody in their sleeping bag, slamming them against the tree, and I was like, yeah, Friday the 13th. I remember watching that movie at about eight,
I
nine,
can't even imagine.
like
Brutal.
just death and destruction, just this little
Yeah.
elementary kid, you know.
Like, oh,
And,
okay.
and what was the last movie that you watched that blew your mind?
You know, I might have a biased answer. It might be VHS Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Not even my segments, but like some of the other segments were one so deeply funny and good, and then some of the other ones were so deeply disturbing that I was like, oh, that one's gonna be one I'm not gonna sleep over. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna be thinking about that one for a while. So.
Oh, that's great. I love that you love
Yeah.
your own stuff. Like I've talked
Yeah.
to enough people over the years that they're like, I just don't even watch it. I just can't do it. I pick it apart. I'm very critical.
Mm.
It surprises me when I hear that people are, that they're like that with their stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's taken years of training, I will say. And I also had like some really good people really early on in my career being like, most people pick themselves apart physically when they're watching themselves. And it's like, if you just get over the vanity of it and you just take it as like something that is another performance, it's just much more enjoyable. And it's like you learn so much from watching your stuff as well of what
sure.
you can improve. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's always the hardest thing to do is kind of self-critique yourself and be like, oh, I could have been better there, or I missed the
yeah,
mark there. Like if you can't do that, it's not that you can't get better, but it certainly is like,
it's just going to take you a lot longer for
sure, it's a
sure.
great tool to have in the tool belt to be able to look and critically pick apart your work, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Lawson, thank you again for taking the time here to join us in Vancouver. I've got a final question. I want to respect your time here. I've got one last question. It could be the toughest, could be the
Okay.
easiest. What is your career highlight thus far? One career highlight.
I think it was probably seeing VHS Halloween in a theater with a live audience. That was the first time, because most of the films I've done have come out on TV.
Yeah,
So it was the first time, like, actually sitting in a room and experiencing something with a live audience. And especially with our segment having a lot of comedy in it, it was a horror comedy. It was just like such a wild thing to like literally hear the people right behind me cracking up. I was like,
nice.
oh my God, like it was such a surreal moment and something I didn't ever really think would happen. Like I was just happy being a working actor, much less now having things come out that people are actually talking about. It was quite a wonderful experience.
That's pretty wild, yeah. And so the stuff we were talking right at the very top of the very start, you were talking about the
Mhm.
verticals and all that.
Yeah.
Like, do you have your own channel or like what's the deal for that? Where do we find that stuff?
Yeah, so they're on a bunch of different apps. The top apps for them right now are things, Real Short is very popular. Drama Box, I've done quite a few for. So they're basically like their own individual apps, and then within those apps, they'll release a bunch of series. So they're really taking over right now. I got lucky and I got in them quite early before they really blew up. You're just now seeing them really take off. Like I believe now Drama Box which is one of the vertical streaming apps, is a part of Disney's like subscription bundle, which is pretty mind blowing. So when I started doing them, people were kind of, lifting their nose and being like, you do verticals? But now it's like everyone's like, oh, these are going to be a thing. So it's really cool.
Yeah, tied into Disney's name. That's getting there, yeah.
Pretty big deal.
Pretty crazy. Thank you again for jumping on. You are just simply your name, Lawson Greyson, on Instagram. Do you have
Yes.
Facebook? Do you have X
I
or
know
TikTok
Facebook,
or
but on
anything?
TikTok, I'm Lawson_Greyson.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again, and we'll tag you when we're chucking this stuff around online. And it's nice to meet you. Congrats on all the success.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talk.